guys, how's it going? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So thank you guys for joining us for another recap on today's trading. So today the team overall did very well. Just wanted to do a quick recap on the different stocks that we ended up trading. So again, we start the morning off on the group chat just like we always do, saying good morning to one another. I started the morning off with already having in a sense 4 stocks in mind. Talked about them right away. So it was CEI. Talked about that it was up, pre-market at $3 or 3.33%. ONTX, which is one that we were trading quite often, used to have a resistance at 240, ended up popping up to like nearly above $3 and then started bleeding back down. I said safety at 235, balance at 235, and kind of stayed, and there wasn't much volume as when ONTX doesn't have just the right volume, just like it did when it popped up, and it's a very slow stock. So but it's coming back to an area that we're a little bit more comfortable trading, so I'll talk about that one a little bit later. LPCN was one that I definitely wanted to put out there as a stock to look out for, and wanted to just answer a couple questions. So do want to give a big shout out to one of our buddies that said for one of his first trades he made $46 profit with a smaller account. It was in Francisco. He just joined us, so it's amazing to be able to see people on their first trade be so successful when it comes to trading, and it really comes down to really like just joining the group. Again, it's a free group that I have designed that you can join for free. We pretty much teach you the basics and fundamentals of trading penny stocks. You do simulation trading, as in you trade with fake money, and once you get the hang of it, then you can invest whatever it is, $100, $1,000, and kind of scale it out with that. So great job. He's locked in a solid profit with $46 within the day. Profit's profit, and everyone else just followed with so much support. So that's why I think this group is so great. And continued. Pretty much showed a little bit on his buy-in and then his sell point and stuff like that. So again, he didn't buy that many shares. He bought loan buy is $306 and $352. So he saw, in a sense, higher than a 10% return. So if he was trading with like a $10,000 account, he would have seen again, more than $1,000 returned within that trade itself. But it's all about scaling it out. So as you learn, you can continue to grow your account. So one of the most common questions I receive is why I only risk $3,000 if my account's like $30,000. So I just increased my risk limit to $3,000. And again, I don't really I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I pretty much risk an amount that I'm willing to lose, in a sense. Like if I do lose altogether the $3,000, it's something that I can live without. With the $30,000, I mean, it would be way more devastating to lose $30,000 than the total $3,000 altogether. We do have separate systems that we have set up, as in like stop loss to minimize our loss at no more than 2.5%. But regardless, things do happen and things are unpredictable. So to keep it realistic, as I continue to grow my account, my overall account, I'll continue to grow my risk account, and throughout that whole process, I'll continue to gain more knowledge between just in the market itself, and because of all of you guys. It's something that I'm very passionate about. It's something I'm very excited for. When I can be risking $10,000 per trade and be making $1,000 per trade. So that's the overall goal. But again, it all comes about being patient and scaling it out and having a plan and how you're going to get there. So at least that's something that I think would lead to my success. And you guys created your own game plan. But that's pretty much my little analysis, or my little judgment on the trade itself. So solid profit. I said up $89. That's when the price was at $336. Ended up continuing to ride it, and let me talk about the different trades that I had. So let me just get right into it. So the first one that I traded and that I sold was after my alert that I sent out that CEI dropped. It actually dropped to 83 cents. Overall, what I've noticed with CEI, and again with my type of trading, I like to analyze these stocks and kind of the trends that happen. So it's been bleeding consistently after it dropped from 125. So it's been bleeding. It had a really strong safety at $1, and then it popped back up. Didn't go above 115 and came back down. Had a really strong safety at $1. But again, like we talked about last week on our Sunday Stock Talk, when it holds very well at a $1 mark, most likely that means it's going to drop below that safety, just because it's not able to pick up anymore. So, and again, it all comes with like, I guess just experience of trading, and you'll learn that when a stock price kind of just plateaus and it's just sitting and kind of staying stagnant throughout the whole day for a couple days, it's most likely gonna continue to bleed back down. So that's where you want to cut your losses right away. So right as it dropped below $1, it started coming down to 90 cents. And when it comes down to 90 cents, it tried to pop up to 95, just the volume wasn't really there. And this is where it gets interesting. So what I've been able to notice is when it has those big drops, it tends to pick up once and only once within that same day, and it picks up pretty well. So if it has a strong drop, then it picks up well back to where it started. So I knew that based on my analysis on CEI on the previous trends, I was waiting for the drop below 90 and seeing where it set its safety. It set its safety at 83 cents, popped down there, squeezed all the way down, and popped right back up. I was able to get in at 90 cents as I knew that was a safety. So I knew when it came back up and passed, just the volume was so high. So the volume popped through 90 cents, was holding pretty well, bought in at 90.05 and ended up selling at well, it hit $1 and then it came back down, and then I ended up selling, I believe, at an average of 97 to 98 cents, so maybe 97 and a half. Brought in about $215 profit on that trade alone with a $3,000 risk account. Overall, very successful trade, I think, when it comes to my analysis and my judgment on CEI. Had a whole game plan set up again. If it continued to bleed back down, I had my stop loss set again at 89.99 to cut my losses at 1/10 of a cent. So I would lose about like maybe $10, something like that. Nothing crazy. And I was setting myself up for success. So again, I had a whole game plan set up when it came to trading CEI. I knew where I was buying in, why I was buying in, the trends. I knew that on that first pop, it tends to pop back up on where it started. So I knew this pop was going to come back here and hopefully pick up. I was actually expected to sell at 95. But it just popped right through, and then with that, squeezed up to $1. My alerts were set off. I removed my stop loss, and then I put my limit at $1. Didn't get filled, saw that it was coming back down, so I just locked in the profit at 97 cents. Told the team about that, and pretty much went from there. Let me make sure that. Yep, right here, 97 cents, $215 profit. And then we're talking about LPCN. LPCN broke $40. $3.40. Dropped all the way down to $3.27, and this was yesterday. Alerted the team. I bought in, got filled at an average of $3.27, $3.27.01, I think to be exact. Popped up today, it went above 40 cents. I was hoping to sell around $3.44, and the reason why is because of this resistance level right here. But couldn't get above that. So hit about like 341, 342, and then started bleeding back down. Judson, which is a pretty big trader in our group itself, he ended up getting filled at 337 to sell. So he locked in a good amount of profit, and I think he had a little bit over 1,000 shares from his average at like 328. So he did very well with that trade itself. At a stop loss once it went above 340. My alert didn't set at a stop loss right after the 340. I removed it, set a stop loss at 337, and then it popped up and then popped back down, and then ended up having to sell at 337. I ended up closing at 337, so I think it hit highs of 339. Overall, just successful trade when it came to trading itself. Locked in, I think, on this one $110. So on the day itself, $325 for trading. So again, exceeded my goal. Now my goal is going to be a little bit different for 2017. My goal previous, since I was trading mainly with an average of $22.50 risk account, my goal was $200 at nearly 7 to 8% profit per day on my overall account. And I want to continue that. So my profit now goal is $250. Today, obviously, I exceeded it, and hopefully, within the months to come, I can grow my risk account and my overall account altogether to continue to, being able to lock in these steady profits of, 7 to 8%, if not more. Cut my losses and keep my losses, within the 1 to 2.5% area. And in the long run, just continue to grow my account so I can bring in a larger amount of profit per trade. So that was my analysis on LPCN. So pretty much what I have expected. Once it does pass 340, most likely it's going to trade between 340 to 350, and hopefully it can squeeze on over to 360, but a really strong resistance at 360. But if not, for those that are still holding, 340 is not a bad area to sell. If it comes bleeding back down, I'm going to be trying to get into 327, 325 area, trying to get filled again, and then ride it back up as we did last week as well. So that's my analysis on LPCN. So DRYS was one that a couple of our traders did trade today. I do want to talk about DRYS. It's been consistently having like red days. It does have those nice little pops, and that's what we're here for. So we're here to determine where those pops are gonna react and where they're going to be at, and we kind of have to go off for that. So we know that there was a safety at $1. It did go sub $1, I think, a little bit for today. It hit highs of 110, and a couple people were able to lock in their 10% profit. I actually think there were a couple of you that yeah, it's actually right here. They bought in at 1, sold at 110, locked in 10%, and then kind of just talking a little bit more, so congratulations to them. But overall, DRYS is not a stock that you want to hold, and you want to catch on the bounces, and it tends to do pretty well at those $1 bounces. So as long as it continues to hold at the $1, which I'm not 100% sure that it will, since it's been on a steady decline, but if it does, and on Monday it opens on a green day, just know that there's a resistance at 110 and another resistance at 115. Just know where to sell and where to cut your losses. So anything below $1, I'd say cut your losses as soon as possible to minimize your risk when it comes to trading DRYS. So ONTX was my other stock that I was taking a look at. Did not get in the area that I felt comfortable trading. Hit lows of 335. Based on how many times we've traded ONTX, we feel more comfortable buying in around 320 to 325 area to be able to sell at the resistance of 340 to 350. So if you guys can kind of see what we're doing, pretty much old resistance, as in old safety nets. When the stock is bleeding down and it struggles to go below a certain point, that's a safety. Now when it goes below that point, right, so it went sub 250 and tried to come back up, the old safety of 250 becomes a new resistance, and that happens with every single in a sense safety net. So once it goes below it, it now becomes a resistance level. Now it's struggling to go above 250. So because of that, most likely it's going to continue bleeding back down. As you can see, the volume really just wasn't there. So hopefully within the next couple of days we can see it continue kind of mimic this, as in a sense of bleed back down to the 220 area, being able to buy in and then ride it up to the 240 area, lock in our profits, and then mimic it, and then being able to catch these little pops. So understanding where these safety nets are, where these resistance levels, as it's picking up, once it goes above it, and if the volume is good, just know that you have these little areas of margin for profit that you can capitalize on, and just cut your losses a little bit below them. 2.5% is what I do personally. But if you can do that and you have a whole game plan set up and you truly understand the stock that you're investing in, as in the whole game plan on when it comes to kind of the technical analysis for ONTX or for whatever stock you're trying to trade, then just make sure you set yourself up for success, and you understand what your risks are, your margins for profit, and where your plan is to sell and to cut your losses. So that's pretty much it. I think that's my analysis on all the 3 stocks, or all the 4 stocks that I was talking about today. There was one more, which was this one. So it was SCYX. Did not play out. It actually went below sub 332, and just didn't really care too much about it. I said the entry was like at 332, as that was a safety, and I said yeah, stop loss at 3319, but ended up canceling my order for SCYX just because I saw it in a sense hold too long at 332, so I thought it was going to go below, which it did. Hit lows, I believe, of 325 with an overall 1 month low of 318, and then it just bleeds down to like 283 from there. Just wasn't the stock that I was looking for, and pretty much this is Judson. He was just talking about kind of like the stock he was trading, or a certain stock itself, and kind of how it was poop in a sense. But overall, really great day. Judson was able to squeeze in a $626 profit, so kudos to him for being able to do that, and a lot of good questions that we were able to answer today. I did have a meeting, so it was kind of hard to answer all the questions that you guys had, and there are a bunch of emails after the video I made yesterday that I've received that I really want to get to. Just give me some time to kind of go through them, as I do answer them personally, and I want to respond with with just quality, just information. So if you guys can give me some time to respond to all those emails, I would really appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so already, I'm going to provide the link. I believe it should be popping up right around this area right here on top of the screen. It's about how I nearly made $200,000 at age 21 with my different sources of income, and kind of a breakdown on the overall understanding on not just having one source of income, but throughout the years continuing to grow your sources of income, so overall being able to generate a larger income in a whole, right? So when it comes to trading, you have a normal job, you can have another sort of like investment, you can have investment properties, you can buy and sell cars. So there's a bunch of different things that I do that you guys can do in a sense better, or different markets that you guys can get into that I don't personally know about. And then if you guys have any questions, I'd love to be a part of your success. So I do provide the link to join the group. So it is a Facebook group. We're a little bit over 600 people on the Facebook platform, a little bit over 300 with all GroupMe platforms. So I believe we actually just broke 900, not too sure. So we broke 800 I think last week or a couple days ago. We're at about 900, so we're growing at a rapid pace with all 3 platforms. So if you guys would like to be a part of it, again, it's a free group you can join. The link is provided for you down below in the bio or in the description. So I'd love to be able to help you guys any way that I can, even when it just can be with like real estate, investing, or just business, or any questions that you guys might have that I do think I can kind of benefit you, guide you in the right direction. Then reach out to me. I'd love to help you out. My email is going to be down below as well, so it's techbuds@mail.com. Send me an email if you guys have any questions, and that is pretty much it. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys can, I would really appreciate it. You guys can click the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the like button if you guys enjoyed the content in this video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and make sure we start next week on a green note. We'll see you here for our Sunday stock talk this Sunday at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Take care, guys.